It feels like your ex is sending you signals. But how do you know it's real and not just in your imagination? Well, that is what I'm talking about here in today's video. We're going to go over the signals that exes send that most people miss, and I'll tell you what your ex's signals actually mean. Because honestly, it's not always what you think. Now, some of these are going to be signs that your ex is ready to come back, while others are signs that they're headed in the right direction. And then some others are just signs of lust or even selfishness. We'll also talk about other behaviors that many people mistake for signals, but are actually not as significant as they imagine. So first off, let's answer a burning question. Yes, chances are your ex is sending you signals of some kind if they're at least still communicating with you after the breakup. And in some cases, even if they're not speaking to you at all. But the important thing is to determine what is a signal and what isn't. Or you're going to take the wrong message away and you'll probably end up making a big mistake. It seems simple, but it's vitally important because misreading your ex's vibes could really be disastrous at this stage. Now, these signals are going to fall into one of three categories here. So first, let's talk about the signals that are extremely positive and basically green lights for you to keep pursuing your ex. Now, none of these are 100% certain signs that they're in love with you or anything like that. You still need to take it slow and feel things out, even in the best case scenario. So we'll start with sign number one, which is increased communication. Now, really, this is the gold standard when it comes to reconnecting with an ex. If they're interested in coming back, they're not typically going to just come out and ask you right off the rip. I know it can be frustrating, but it's just human nature. They've had their heart broken and they're afraid to get hurt all over again. So what they're going to do instead is they'll start to be more present and more communicative. They'll reach out to you more and more. So if your ex is just hitting you up all the time just to chat, that is definitely a great sign. And the second sign is sweetness. So if your ex is interested, one of the ways that they'll try to let you know is just by being sweet towards you. And this is one that you're going to be able to feel in how they talk to you. It'll come through in a touch on the arm, a lingering look, a quick smile. You know your ex, so you know when they're putting the charm on and when they're just being polite. Charm is a clear sign of interest, so honestly, don't overthink it. And sign number three is curiosity. And curiosity is really another sign that your ex is almost certainly interested. It's less of a signal that they're intentionally sending and more something that they won't be able to hide when they feel it. They'll ask questions, they'll probe you for your feelings, and they'll just generally be all up in your business. And the reason they want to know about your future is because they hope to be a part of it. Sign number four, nostalgia and humor. Curiosity is about the future, but nostalgia is about the past. So maybe your ex will keep, bringing up memories that you shared, positive memories. And they'll do this because they want you to get back into a headspace where the two of you are a couple. And another version of this is trying to recreate the silly banter that you used to share together. So teasing and joking around, definitely major green lights. And sign number five, availability. One of the signs that your ex is unsure about reconnecting is that they'll be very hot and cold. They'll disappear for days and weeks and then pop back up when they feel like it. But if your ex is extremely consistent, available to talk, open to spending time together, that's another positive signal for your chances. This is a vulnerable move for your ex because they're probably not sure how you feel about them. So they wouldn't be doing it if they didn't really want to let you know that they're serious. Quickly replying to messages, picking up the phone whenever you call, and just willingness to see you last minute are definite signs of availability. Now we're going to shift gears. The next category is what I call positive negative signals. Some people see their ex engaging in these behaviors and they think that it means that their ex hates their guts, when really it's typically actually the opposite. But again, slow your roll a little bit. You still need to treat your ex as if you don't know the truth. So sign number 6 here is anger. Yes, honestly, your ex's anger can be a signal that they're still interested in you, because the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. So if they tell you how much they hate you, how you wasted their time, how you're a jerk, then this might just mean that you're a jerk. But if they keep up that behavior, calling you up to tell you how mad they are, talking to mutual friends and even your family, then at a certain point, it's going to become clear that this anger is just a mask. And what they really want is to think about you and talk about you because they're still interested in you. They're more angry that the relationship is over than at what you've actually done. And sign number 7 is jealousy. So if your ex displays signs of jealousy after a breakup, then it's pretty common that you still have a chance. One example is that they'll get upset at you for moving on so quickly. or they'll talk shit about the person you're dating to mutual friends, hoping that it gets back to you. Obviously, it's not exactly mature, but again, it's a sign of emotional investment, which is a sign of interest. And number 8 is mind games. Now, it's honestly not always easy to spot when your ex is playing mind games. And if it is, then they aren't very good at it. But being very mysterious is a common one that your ex will pull during this time apart. So I don't mean hiding from you or going silent. I mean hinting at things, but refusing to say more when you ask. Or maybe implying that they're seeing somebody, but never actually confirming it. These kinds of mind games are designed to keep you on the hook. Now let's shift gears again and talk about a third category of signals that falls into a gray area. Now these can be signals that your ex is ready to come back, but they can also be hiding an entirely different motivation. So the first one is sign number 9, telling you they miss you. Now, of course, it feels great to hear that your ex misses you, and it probably means that they wish they had you back, right? Well, sometimes it does, but not always. And this is something that my clients often get very excited about. And at first, honestly, I was right there with them. I mean, it seems like such a green light. But I'd say that about half the time I've heard this story, it turned out that their ex had an entirely different motivation. What they wanted wasn't to get back together, but to get some of the same energy back. So basically, they were looking for that validation that they were missed rather than an actual connection. And this is why I generally don't recommend that you tell your ex that you miss them too, unless they're sending a few other more clear signals as well. Otherwise, you may just end up being left on red once they get what they want. And slide number 10 is sad or angry posts on social media. Now, often people are going to post pathetic quotes about heartbreak, song lyrics, and other emotional messages on social media to get your attention. But just as often, it's not your attention that they're fishing for. So they could be hoping that their friends will reach out or that someone special will message them to, try to dry their tears over the breakup. Because this is also a signal that says, hey, I'm single now. Come and get me. Now, I know that sucks to hear, but it is true. So do tread carefully when you get a message like this. And sign number 11 is late night texts. Now, I know a late night text from your ex is often exciting, can be a sign of intimacy, but it could also just be a sign of lust depending on the content. So if your ex is being very flirty or suggestive and you know they're under the influence of alcohol, then chances are they're just trying to get laid. So again, unless that's all you're looking for too, don't fall into the trap. And sign number 12, asking to be friends. Now, this final gray area signal is one that could really go either way. If you've seen any of my other videos, then you know that I don't generally recommend being friends with your ex if you want them back. But your ex asking to be friends is really a different matter. It can be a major sign that they're testing the waters with you, trying to get closer without risking being shot down. They also want to check you out to see, if the spark is still there. But at the same time, they could just be being totally honest and really just want to be your friend. So if you and your ex were friends before you dated, and if they mentioned during the breakup that they felt more platonic towards you, then you probably don't want to get your hopes up with this one. Now, if you are in this situation, you need to trigger your ex's romantic feelings towards you. Now, check out my recent video on this subject that you can find in the link in the description below or up here in the corner. So those are all the signs that an ex wants you back. But here are the ones that people imagine are good, but are actually neutral or even negative. Starting with politeness. Unless your breakup was extremely bitter or toxic, your ex is going to be polite to you after a breakup. They still care about you, and really, they probably don't want to create any more drama. In fact, their politeness is often just a mask because they don't really know any other way to treat you. They think that if they get too casual, then you might take it the wrong way. So they'll be, almost formal with you. And the next false signal is pity. Now, if you've been acting very pathetically towards your ex after the breakup, falling into depression, expressing massive regret and begging for another chance, and they respond with kindness, then this is often more of a sign of pity than of a desire to reconnect. And finally, asking about your plans can also be a false signal. As I said earlier, curiosity is a good sign, but if their questions are more like, when are you going to pay me back the money that you owe me, or when are you moving out, then don't take that as anything positive. They're just trying to get clarity so they can cut ties for good. Now, we've talked about the different signals, but I wanted to repeat one thing. None of these signals means that you have a complete green light and that you and your ex are going to get back together 100%. You still need to rebuild the connection and explore it together. You shouldn't have, 2 good conversations with your ex and then ask them to move back in. Because even if they're really into you, chances are there's a lot of confusion mixed in with all those positive feelings. So just Take their signals for what they are. Signs that they're interested in starting to reconnect with you again. And even if none of them are completely sure things, these signs will at least give you the confidence required to keep going and to actually win them back for good. Now, if you want to know your ex's true feelings, please go to breakupbrad.com/quiz. There I put together a simple quiz that will answer the question, what are my chances of winning back my ex? It's based on my 15 years as a breakup coach for thousands of satisfied clients. Again, try it for yourself for free in less than 5 minutes at breakupbrad.com/quiz. Now, there is something that I wanted to mention that muddies the water a little bit, and that is that sometimes your ex seems interested and they're actually just using you. Now, if you want to know how to tell the difference, I've actually made a whole video on this topic that you can watch right now. I've linked it in the description below and up here in the corner. But before you go, drop me a like and subscribe so that I can keep spreading my word for the people who need it. Best of luck and see you next time right here. Bye for now.